Hey, what's up, guys? Awesome back here with another video. I'm actually feeling really good today. I ain't got a headache. I ain't got a sore throat or anything. Not stomach ache or anything. But I'm feeling good, pumped up, ready to go back to my daily life, start grinding and everything, and um, grind the grind of life basically. But this video is gonna be for your high school fishermen, so just getting in it, what you're gonna need. Um, and everything to be prepared for anything that may come up. High school fishing is a difficult sport, I will admit. You're going to be going in the summer, spring, fall, and winter. Whether it be raining, snowing, it don't matter. You're going to have some of every type of weather, basically. You're going to be sweating, you're going to be freezing, and everything. So, number one, you're going to need a rain suit. I I cannot stress this enough. A rain suit. You do not want to be out there, even if it is 60, 70 degrees wet. It's just not fun. I have some buddies that done it and they said it sucked. And they look cold. But you're going to need a rain suit, number one. Number two, you're going to need some sort of boat and transportation. Whether that be your dad, your grandpa, your uncle, one of your buddies, someone that the school finds for you, whoever it may be. You're going to need that, and it's going to have to be reliable. Number three, um, some sort of maybe $50 a tournament, because if you got somebody that's from the school, well, you're going to want to set up and pay for gas. If you want something to eat, you're going to have to pay for that. And then when you go state, I suggest $100 every day, because you gotta consider your eats, your night room and everything and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna get into money and everything. I'm just gonna go over the basics here, and I'm gonna give you some money saving tips. Number four, you're gonna need some gear: rods, reel, line, baits, everything. So some money saving tips on there. If you are thus getting into high school, freshman, sophomore, and you're not sure if this high school fishing team's what you want to do, well, don't have your parents go and spend $400 or $500 on just one rod and reel. Well, yeah, you got that rain suit. That can be very costly, according which one you get. Well, you're gonna have money for tournaments. That can run into money. So the only thing that you can really save money on is your gear. Do not buy from the tackle store on the lake. They'll be the highest, or anywhere around it. They will be the highest. Go 10, 15 miles from it. Just like Dogpatch. They are miles from Cumberland. They are miles from Woods Creek. They have great prices. Well, Saddlebrook is miles from Cumberland, Woods Creek, Dale Hollow, and Laurel. I mean, they're right at 13, 15 miles from Laurel. They got good prices. Yet sometimes some stores that's right there off the lakefront. Those is going to be your more expensive, because they're going to be your more convenient. But don't buy from them. Um, if you just now getting into it, take and buy 3 rods. Not 4, not 2, but 3. Get you a shorter rod, like this right here. This is a Tour KVD. They do not make this no more, I don't believe. Been a great rod. I've had it for years, and you can tell it ain't popping or cracking or anything. 6'6", medium heavy. Get you a faster gear ratio reel. This here is just a little cheaper reel. I don't even remember where I got it. I think I gave like $5 for it, honestly. Yeah, this is a Bassmaster. I thought it was pretty cool. I never had saw it before. But here's what really shocked me. It's like I guess a Bassmaster is like a Bass Pro, an older one. It has the old Shimano braking systems in it, like the E7 Corrados and the Chronarchs and stuff. That shocked me, so I'm just like, well, I mean, $5, it's a bait casting reel. I mean, I'm just gonna wear it out anyhow. I've been flipping around with it with a jig in the house, but what I'd use that setup for, faster reels set not under a 7. 7 1-to-1 all the way up to 8 1-to-1 is going to be your better option on there, because you can always slow down, but you cannot speed up. So that's going to be your crankbait rod. A lot of people like a longer rod for crankbaits, 7.6, 7.11, 7.3. Well, you're on a budget. You got to look at, well, I can squeeze this into this rod, I can squeeze that into that rod. So that's going to be your square bill rod. You will not be throwing deep divers on that rod. I mean, you may get away with a 14-foot diver like a rock crawler or something like that. You may get away with it. I ain't tried it personally, but you can throw square bills like the 1.5, the 2.5s, the 1.0s on that rod. You can throw jerk baits like your Mega Bass, Vision 110s, your Lucky Craft pointers and stuff like that. You can throw that on there. You can throw your top waters like Ricos, your Pop R's, and stuff like that. You can throw your sexy dogs, your hound dogs, and stuff like that on that rod. You can throw a spinner bait. You can throw a chatterbait on that rod. So you got chatterbait, crankbait, spinnerbait, poppers, spooks. You got 5 techniques in that one rod. The second one I'd get, well, I'm going to go back to the first one. The first rod, I would suggest a Cashion. It's white and black. It's a CRT. Get a 6.6, medium heavy. That is a great rod. Got a law tip on there. Get you a Lew's reel. That's inexpensive reels. They have $100. So, boom. There's a $200 combo. $200 ain't nothing to sneeze at, but that sure beats spending $1,000 on one rod. The second reel and rod I'd get is a heavy rod. Make sure it says heavy, not medium heavy. Get you a longer one. Something over 7 foot, 7.1, 7.3, 7.6, 7.11. Something like that. Not over 7.11, because this is going to be basically your meat and your potatoes right here. This is going to be your backbone, your heavy lifting, heavy duty outfit. Get you a faster reel. That way you can kind of catch up, although you ain't going to have as much drag as you would with a slower one. But I'm going to go over the reel in a minute. What you can throw on this rod, this is a Duckett Ghost 7.3 heavy action. I'm going to get rid of this whole setup. I do not like it. It's just too heavy for me. I have other rods that I throw heavier stuff on, and I just don't like how heavy and bulky this feels. But you got that. You can throw a smaller A-rig, something that has all the way up to a 1/4 ounce heads on that rod. You can throw jigs, Texas rigs on that rod. You can throw your heavier shaky heads on that rod. I would suggest getting a Dobyns, not the Colt. It's a green and black Dobyns Fury. I'd get a 7'3" Dobyns Fury heavy, because that is a whole lot of meat and a lot of taters on there too. You can really jack them fish. Say you make a long cast with an A-rig, well, you can be cranking, boom, you got a fish. That longer rod's going to help you make a longer cast and get a better hook set on a longer cast. Say you're flipping, well, you need that longer rod and that heavier rod to really set down on that fish. Say you're point fishing, you got a law line out on a jig. Well, that jig has to come through all that weed guard into a fish's mouth. Well, that heavier rod and longer rod's going to help you do that. Same way as Texas rig. You're not flipping, you're thus covering some water with some fishing some brush or some grass or whatever. Well, that longer, heavier rod's going to help you drag that fish out of that. Same way, faster reel, you're losing some drag there. It ain't no way around that. You take your 7s and 8s, they're going to have a not as much drag as your 5s or your 6s. But you're not going to be able to catch up to a smallmouth if he's running to you with a 5. It is not going to happen. I've tried it. I made that mistake. I've learnt from that mistake. I had a 5 to 1 Corrado throwing a spinnerbait on it. Yeah, it was great. I didn't have to go like that. But I hooked a big fish at Cumberland, a smallmouth, because we saw it. It was running to me, and I'm like, yes, I could not keep up with that fish. Well, if I'd had a 7-2, 7-3, 7-5, or 8 1-to-1, I could have had that fish in the boat. Maybe won the tournament. I say that, but yeah, we didn't have a chance. But get you a faster reel. You can always slow down, but you can never speed up. So that's going to be that on the top water and crankbait and jerkbait setup and everything. I'm going to be throwing 20 pound all the way down to 15. That way you can still keep that line up there on the surface. You can still walking bait, and you still got something that's kind of, 15, 20 pound ain't nothing to sneeze at on a jerkbait, but a jerkbait's more of a reaction bite anyway, same way as a crankbait. A bass uses our lateral lines to key in on a jerkbait and a crankbait. Crankbait comes through there like that, same way as spinnerbait. Them blades is turning, they feel that with their lateral line. Same way as a chatterbait. That head's coming through there, that skirt's moving and stuff. And it's just a reaction type deal. That's why you don't need that expensive rod on that. The expensive rod I'd get would be a heavy rod. I cannot emphasize that. Dobbins, they have that Fury. It is a great rod. Very inexpensive. $100 rod. Lew's has that $100 reel. Boom, there's another $200 setup. So you're at $400. Well, yeah, that is great. You got most of your power fishing down. And on that heavy rod, you can also throw a spoon too. I forgot to mention that. But you got all that heavier stuff down, more expensive stuff down. You're going to be needing a spinning reel and a rod. You're going to need a dedicated combo to this light line, light baits. I'm talking about 4, 6, not over 8 pound line on here. And stuff like that. This is, you've heard me talk about it a lot. This is a Daiwa Airdex rod. I love this rod. This is my dedicated spinning rod drill. I do have others. I have a Dixie Custom right here beside me. I'm going to touch on that in a minute. It's not really that important. But here, this Lew's have been beat to death. It's all scuffed up, got boat rash on it and everything else. But here's going to be your more finesse stuff. Get you some gut line. Invest in your line. That is the most important investment of this combo. Seaguar InvizX. Yeah, Seaguar InvizX. 4 pound line. P-Line Tactical 6 pound line. Both great. Both good for finesse presentations. This is a 7-foot medium light Daiwa Airdex. I love this rod. And it just fits in the hand perfect. I love it to death. Like, I love that little cutout, that part of my hand. This fits great right there and everything. I highly suggest this rod. Get you a spinning reel. It ain't got to be a Tatula. I just like a Tatula. And I also like this Lew's Speed Spin here. Lew's makes some great reels. I'm just going to say their top end. I've looked at it. I cannot think of the name of it. And it just felt good. I liked it. That's the top of the line, $129. So this rod's $59. That's going to be another $200 combo. Or you can have a cheaper setup. I would get this rod, get some Seaguar InvizX 4 pound. get you some baits and everything, some Kitex, some Ned Rig stuff, and I'd get a Shimano one. It's a Shimano, I can't even think of it. It starts with an N, I think. It's gold and black. I think it's 49, 59, not over $79. So you can have your baits and stuff and still have a great spinning setup for under $200. Well, that's going to be the top three. That's what I'd get. That's what I emphasize the most. So, rain suit, 3 rod and reels. Say you have a little bit of extra money and you just want another dedicated spinning setup. 7/6 medium light rod, Daiwa Tatula reel, 6 pound line for swim baits. It don't get no better. That's just what I'd throw. But there's your 3 main things and one honorable mention that I'd throw. But thank y'all for watching and y'all have a good day.